They never yell, never threaten, never even raise their voice. Yet somehow, you always end up feeling like you're the problem. That's not love. That's covert manipulation. In relationships, not all manipulation is loud or obvious. Some of it is silent, disguised as care, concern, or even love. The most dangerous. Manipulators aren't the ones who scream, they're the ones who smile while twisting your reality. You won't even realize you're being controlled until you've lost your confidence, your boundaries, and even your sense of self. So today, let's uncover the hidden signs of covert manipulation. The kind that slowly drains your emotional strength while making you believe it's your fault. The first hidden sign is the confusing kindness. At first, they seem perfect, attentive, thoughtful, always there when you need them. But soon, that kindness becomes selective. They're nice when you do what they want, cold when you don't. You find yourself chasing that warmth, trying to please them just to feel loved again. That's not kindness, that's conditioning. Covert manipulators use affection like a reward and silence as punishment. They teach you to associate love with obedience. Before you know it, you're no longer acting out of love. You're acting out of fear of losing it. The second sign is subtle guilt tripping. They never directly blame you, but they know exactly how to make you feel guilty. They might say things like, "I just thought you cared more," or "I guess I'm not that important to you." Suddenly, you're apologizing for things you didn't even do wrong. They twist your empathy into a leash, and every time you try to pull away, that guilt pulls you back. The manipulator's goal is simple: make you responsible for their happiness, so they can control you through your own compassion. The third sign is the gaslight glow. Gaslighting isn't always shouting, "You're crazy." Sometimes it's quiet denial, subtle contradictions, and fake forgetfulness. You might say, "You said you'd call me," and they'll reply, "I never said that. You must have misunderstood." At first, it's small. Then it becomes constant. They rewrite events, distort your memory until you start doubting your own mind. And once you question your reality, they control it. Remember, if someone constantly makes you second-guess your own experiences, that's not miscommunication. That's manipulation disguised as confusion. The fourth sign is victim play. No matter what happens, somehow, they end up being the one who's hurt. You point out their toxic behavior, and they'll cry saying, "I can't believe you think I'm a bad person." Or they'll act wounded, forcing you to comfort them instead of addressing the real issue. This is emotional blackmail at its finest. They twist accountability into pity, so you feel like the villain for simply setting boundaries. It's a clever move, because as long as you're busy feeling sorry for them, you'll never call them out again. The fifth hidden sign is isolation through subtle control. They won't forbid you from seeing people. That would be too obvious. Instead, they'll plant quiet doubts. "Your friend doesn't really like me," they'll say. Or, "I just don't feel comfortable when you go out without me." Slowly, you start canceling plans, choosing them over everyone else, not because they asked, but because you want to avoid conflict. Eventually, you wake up one day and realize you've lost your circle, your support system, your freedom, and all you have left is them. That's exactly what they wanted. The sixth sign is the backhanded compliment. It sounds like praise, but it cuts deep. "You look great for your age. You're so smart," when you're not overthinking. These small digs chip away at your self-esteem, making you crave their approval even more. The manipulator wants you slightly insecure, not broken enough to leave, but weak enough to stay. They understand that control isn't about dominance, it's about dependency. If you constantly seek validation from them, they own you emotionally. The seventh and most dangerous sign is the emotional roller coaster. One day they're affectionate and loving. The next, they're cold and distant. You never know which version of them you'll get, and that unpredictability becomes addictive. It's called trauma bonding, the cycle of love and withdrawal that keeps you chasing the high of their approval. They create chaos, then become your calm, and that illusion of safety keeps you hooked. It's not love. It's control wrapped in inconsistency. If any of this feels familiar, pause. You are not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You're being slowly rewritten by someone who thrives on control. Covert manipulators don't need to shout to destroy you. They just need to make you doubt yourself long enough to hand them the power willingly. Real love doesn't make you anxious. It doesn't punish you for honesty, silence you with guilt, or isolate you with concern. Real love feels like peace, not confusion. If someone makes you constantly question your worth, it's time to step back and see the manipulation for what it is. Because the moment you name it, you break its spell. So ask yourself, when did love start feeling like walking on eggshells? When did their comfort become your cage? The truth is, manipulators can't survive in clarity. They thrive in your self-doubt. The day you stop explaining, stop apologizing, and start seeing through their games, that's the day you take your power back. Because once you recognize covert manipulation, you no longer fall for it, you rise above it.